Fáilte over ligniu, Gudi Heala Donan, agus Linniu, Cora, Trevor Cora, and the John Curran from the Donegal Volunteer Centre, and Luther Kenny, and for all of the county, when you Hyundai Liggy. Because my fights in the shrub, John, fights a road to John.
Gurmaid yn ysyn Eugene agus caim ar ego yn ma haraf y sesta yn jesio ar y sia agus rod bagam a cael lyf sy'n sia steril sio agus ta fwy ffilm ta John
Ta fights a war road to John
agus ta sy'n
Gur am hwyr van de chodju hoog te doen a simbid yn sio gur am hwyr am hwyr van de hynny Nes ffac am ogod yn ysio agus Boilers yn dini tam wy'n sy'n boiler fel yma Could you Tashianas, could you give over defocus?
No bother at all. Well, we're a dirt Eugene, Misha John Curran, agus Misha Gobert in the Cedarly in the Donegal Volunteer Centre. Agus the midna money here, we let you can, including Major Combat League, agus no bit more of their show opinion. Now, just Dini Esprago, the Galama, the Gobert, cheat football. So being off my Katie, the chart of being a hand just because there's the Gary Jeshivaku, Horta Rest on football, there's the Gary part of Waku and Shapi Cartona and Club in the Ogi and Jeshivaku, Taku, the groupie football, just for the Taku in the football game. So, yeah, to try for Dini you're going in the hand counters. Now Neil Martin Dini you're going to go while Eugene here and shot go where more volunteer than counter shot or find the brilliantly. But to Nyar Taku going because Kijim and Doi a Hagan Dini you're going now heard you the Shahan Google. Go to the Gary, Irat Yenu, with more part and Popple, August Hawkins Dogany, August and Cody Small, Heart for Shaskan, the Shart of Kate and Dini Hagan Locking. Neil Ober probably be jam taku which is we should picture a taku difa hard to share in Neil to midna. So hinch the shah or in sieve, current the shah sunray saku hain and to jesh up in some taku la rodnya tel more uberi Jonah. So kijim and stuff talking ya Gurialta being hard for kids the quick Jeshini are being your receive at Erling. Now the link COVID and Legia because and pandemic because I am rod near a bit of quick rawa are being your much the could you jay in a fast one ruddy Swiss reached by me extra head to then because by me Jenny Irat ni small leaf not much kind of lenish including colleagues
then you beat a geisha that mention this is John better na Wallace who Manuscar Tashi young, you didn't know you did for the jungle,
yeah, he got scarred for in Snowflake, because when I never did, because he got very Steve Rishti Jerry, but some Norge shirt to care and lay hay, a dog shirt and Norge quick. Yeah, sorry, just the Kenshu 07491 26740, so something ever. A talking for Norfolk. At the Hindu, Agus Kijin Baidini, get Kincher Shaw and the Derling, Hagan and Kite Small than the Yogan Chijan see, but Derling. So Higla Bolush or volunteer Donegal Ponkai, Agus Tana Sunrays, no, Lashigan, Agus Higla Claru, Agus Najeshi, Ekinchin, Agus Gore were the groupie to mention thrashing to mention a goni quirk to cherry groupie. So a swing image and Chasha, and Chasha Clary lines to him, Clary line. Agus being the Goni quirk to the small groupie because the Dini chart of going what I'm counter than Condai, Agus Kain Midna, the Kinchip, while Rugniat again Tifa, while Rugniat and Fobble Sakuhain, Agus Hording, how can you danger the Kush? Well, Samaku, in Andy now, well, Samaku, Gobor le Dini, or Yen like a Dane Rogaton. According to just a gary part of Black in the football game. So, in Roddy Yenimage and Sunlight, Yenimage Irat, Rodney and the Aldifa, at a betcher, Jim or much you want to Daris Hay. Agus the Lynchen, Kijim Tasha, Esho, Manakain, the Golrowata. So this year in Chashaw, night when Lonnie and Sean on you, they had cancer, Dini, Bajer, Wogador, non-steam or awesome, a non-gajin Claudian or better rub on this way. Agus Gahandul ta daoine sésta rugba caiisle dhéanú. Now, ní bheiste dúine daine déil le cin málan le taú le tain, agus ní bhah se an úsáid deite ná duna daoine sin. Now, sin go practical go physical. Ag foiin mi daoine sin beitir a bhfuil géirí gwail scialan í acu ar na man social na scialan í acu bheit si ná taú thar na Dublin. Agus tíle daine bhí ó aon tíomh den siar chu a seair sin. Agus tá méidna mar páirt in na síraí in nasc náisiúnta. So nar chuir an méidna suas post ar si Idirlín sa bhaine tá daoine beidir an Corcaí an leanna éiciid. Agus ubair sin ó tí mar a dúirt me níos máine beit ó tíomh cúisialainn. Má tá sin faoi leiche i daineat an cúis na rud éigin bheit siad sésta i dhéanú thar in Idirlín an iad sin dhéanú na bitir do an ácaidir siúil bheit siad sésta taistil go máine. Agus cíte tá deis mór an sin do daoine iad taon chléir linn agus chance ar bífa mar páirt an phobal. Agus tá deis an fásta do grúpaí phobal i mhaoin sin agus ubair an midna le ahan grúpa tá hartfa wat sé céad go leid grúpaí chláirí agan agus is a Honda link. Agus ní smó na ceirhíle go leid ubarí Jonah chláirí agan. So hagan go hendúil hagan daine a goin daine sa le a bhhain meid hartfa tí chéad sa chuige sa bhíon a bhhain meid ná go dtí seo an dhéalna tá wat thar decéad fáilte bin. Agus an fás mógur hánig chuid bhór agus sin agin ná chuirmid tógad ar siúil a linn COVID-19 le deisiart a daoine bheith cleitear agus a rudidir a máid dífa bheith cleitear na hataí na preemie babies san ospidal na Chicago. So pléist san suaistain agus hánig sé chéad daine agin. Agus bheith méid an anna go bhainte seo hata a chuir raham linnes condaid. Gan bheith caiinte na bhaistí. So, but nar bhí an foran sin again, agus nar bhíon sims again, chuimiid a cuairtú deisian na ilidífa le taú le se phobal. So, chuimiid i Django le Team Hope. Nelson bhfuil an bhfuil aine ar Eugene ná. Dhéanann sin na shoeboxes I gan na nálaigh.
Ó, sé bhaint na daoine hat an seo. Tá sé sin gáda níos tá gáda fada níos dobar speisialta.
Dobar fianta agus is hé na boxí sin amach go tíí bhachta cíidim agus betir pleisií agus betir na pleisií sin in tréin rud a website a nálaigh. So chuig mid na Django le hosin cos bhí sa bhíon grúisiad sin I cuairtú stuff áhar cleitilte na áhar cardiaat na crochet na cibéon rud bhí gist. Agus chuig mid Django le hosin agus formid na patrons exam right agus tá na cétaí daoine ar bhain na condaid. Bhí mar hall fa gad a harcas ar hanig man seo aniu agus fatma suas neartáí sin agus tá daoine chuir opair fianta sean ach tá se maidí fa héin ó na híomh muirsláinte héin go bhfuil si greige go bhfuil si ná na scialaní san na taú úsáid an cleiteile.
Is an runead maith man dúirt an námaintáach.
Sné, agus tá si den an bheittir a bheith smuoinú ar an leanú sin a bhhéan an hatan an scarf na an babag na gréin rud atá na gan an ála.
Tá sin is bhar táhacht ag na páisí gus céidir na tuismarí táhhail fásta.
Sné, an na chéantar mar.
Well, beistir na sé go den sead a scéal bheits ar mera na si John dan phobal atáid go le.
No bother at all. No, Eugene, look, as I said, sorry, I'll end up breaking into Irish because I'm used to speaking Irish to Eugene here whenever we meet. So I work for Donegal Volunteer Centre and we help people get active in their community. So we work with about 4,500 volunteers all across the county and about 600 different community groups. And the reason that people come to us is that they want to do, well, one of three things. They want to get back to their community, they want to get to know their community, or they want to learn new skills. So people go in, they Google it, they find us in the volunteer centre, and we then do our best to match them to something that suits what it is they want to get out of it. So, for example, for Chad and O'Donnell here, we have a couple of opportunities listed. We're looking for people to help Eugene with the work here around tea making facilities and a bit of maintenance and a bit of the IT work as well. And we're also then, I suppose, we would look for somebody to volunteer within about 10 to 20 minutes of their own house. And the reason for that is it's enough of a journey to get you thinking about it, but it's not too much of a journey to be prohibitive. So, you're not going to travel from Bundoran or from Mallinhead to come in here to make tea, but you might come from Godahark over as far as maybe Litcher. So that kind of works that way. The other people that are coming to us then looking to maybe upskill or to get new skills, or a lot of younger people. We have a lot of people maybe coming out of colleges and maybe coming out of unemployment, or they're doing new courses and they're trying to get practical skills. So a lot of those people would come to us, register, if what they want to do is work in a charity shop or work in a shop, then we would maybe get them into a charity shop. And we're doing a project at the minute with the Donegal ETB about recognition of prior learning, where if you've spent time working in a charity shop and gaining skills, they'll do their best to turn that into a qualification. So that you not alone do you have the practical skills, you also then have the skills where you can go to an employer and say, well, I have a certificate in youth work, or a certificate in healthcare, or whatever the case may be, or whatever it is you're interested in doing. So we have a fantastic opportunity for people to come along, people to come along and help the likes of Eugene here, who's doing fantastic work in the community. And we're always keen to get more people involved. So anybody who's interested out there, you can Google us, we're volunteerdonegal.ie, or give us a call in the office in Letterkenny on 074 912 27640 or 266. I'll check the number and make sure I have it right. You never ring your own phone number, but we're always available and we're always interested. And particularly for community groups out there who might be listening to this, I suppose with Eugene's national audience as well, there's a version of ourselves in every county. So if you're listening to this in Cork or Galway and you would like to get involved, you can just Google volunteer whatever your county is, and you'll find a local service. And it's a great way to get to know your community and to participate in it. We have on average of 30 different nationalities that register with us every year. So that's, lots of people who've come from all over the world to call Donegal home.
They must have a lot of different skill sets then, if that's the case.
They do. It's phenomenal. We are always shocked. There's things that we put out there and we think, sure, nobody will ever do that, and we have a queue out the door. The most unusual one we've had in is we had somebody register, and the skill that they told us was that they were a ghost hunter. So now we haven't found anything for that person to do, but we're looking, and it is like people come with all sorts of interesting backgrounds, and like the new Asylum Seeker Centre in Letterkenny that's opened over this past few weeks. We put out a call for volunteers to come and help out with that, and within a day or two we had 50 people who wanted to help and befriend. We did, we got those people in to do toy collections at Christmas, and we had enough toys to do all the Asylum Seeker Centres from Donegal to Galway to give every kid a Christmas present. And it's just lovely that the community is so interested and so wanting to give back. It is, and it's a great way to use your skills. And I suppose COVID-19 has impacted on us all, but particularly it's impacted in that we lose that social interaction, and maybe we lose that connection that we have. And volunteering is a fantastic way when we're out of this to re-establish it, but also when you're at home and you have free time, it's a fantastic way to give of your skills and know that you're benefiting somebody else. So I spoke a little bit in Irish about the knitting project, so I'll chat a little bit about it in English as well. So we put out a call, we were looking, I suppose, towards the end of last year and the start of this year, that just a lot of people were at home and feeling very lonely and isolated. So we put out a call looking for knitters, and we wanted maybe a dozen to come forward, and we ended up with 600. So we had people knitting hats, and we had people all over the country knitting hats and scarves and mittens and teddies and everything you can think of. And so we were getting them to do them for the premature babies in the hospital, but we had too many. So we worked with Team Hope, who do the shoebox appeal every Christmas, and they will take, if we can fill an Arctic and knitting, they will take it all because they have the resources to get rid of it. So we have hundreds of knitters all over the county and all over the country working on that for us. And if there's anybody out there who's interested, you can get in touch with us and we'll get the patterns and all the information out to you. Just this afternoon on my way over here, I stopped and got a Hark. Went into a lovely lady there who actually spent all morning volunteering for a loan. She was doing the phone calls out to the older people just to make sure, you know, touching in with them and making sure people are okay.
Yeah.
But she spends her free time then in the evenings knitting, and I picked up a box of stuff, and it would do your heart good to see it. You know, it's just great what people can do and are willing to do to get back to volunteering.
That's very good, John. That's, so, like, supposing now that committees, of course, you've worked with committees. What about private individuals that would be doing something, especially now in the world of COVID that we have? Like, what would there be anything you work with all classes? Do you?
Yeah, we work with community groups, but if there's individuals out there, we try to put a structure on them. So we try to find maybe a group that they could work with, or some sort of support system. And particularly we're finding it a lot with social entrepreneurs. That's people that are maybe coming up with social businesses or businesses that are for the good of the community. And while they have to cover their costs, the benefit is there for the community. So we work with our partners in DLDC and NHO and development just to help those people kind of get along. And I suppose from my own background, you know, being involved with Uthers na Gaeltacht, being involved in local development and helping individuals and communities achieve what they can, we're always delighted to talk to people, and if we can't help them, we'll find an avenue for them. We'll find somebody that can be of assistance to them, hopefully.
Well, that's first and foremost, I'm very grateful to you for coming into the chat. You know, our cultural land. Now we're up market.
That's it. You got no award, but all fancy.
We thank you very much for the award, of course. Like, so anybody that really is interested, there's a whole host of stuff there, John. A whole host of stuff there for anybody and everybody, really.
There's any amount of opportunity out there, and the big thing for people to do is to put themselves forward and say, "I'd like to help." You know, and we'll find a route to make the most of that.
Just a question about, just to think about it there, like, supposing somebody just wanted to do, say, something they wanted to do, or they wanted to do all their lives or whatever, now when they have time and the pandemic, maybe 6 weeks, 2 months or something like that, and then they would be finished, then you cater for people such as that as well.
We do. We have one-off events coming up all the time, and the one we always cite, and it gets a lot of students interested over the summer, and a lot of retired people over the summer, is the likes of the Errigal Arts Festival.
Oh yeah.
You know, so they have a 2 or 3 week program. They're always looking for extra volunteers, and the great thing about it is that you get to go to the event. So you come along, you volunteer for a couple hours, you get to participate in something, you get to see how it works in the background, you get to meet the people, meet the artists, but you also get to take part in the event and get to make the most of it. We also then have one-off projects. You know, if somebody has 6 weeks and they're saying, look, I'm free for the next 6 weeks, then I'm going back to work, and you want to do something or figure something out or gain a new skill over that period, and then if you come to us, we'll have a chat. And what we always do is we look for why people want to volunteer, and we try to match that. Because, you know, you can come to me and I can have the greatest idea in the world, but if it's of no interest to the individual, then there's no point in them doing it. So we try to find them something that suits them.
Well, that's it. You see, like you said, the participants or individuals that come to, they have to be interested, they have to want to do it. And then it becomes a great project. And
it does, and our average volunteer does a lot less than you do every week, Eugene. They do between 2 and 4 hours a week, and the reason we say that is any less than 2 hours, by the time you turn up and take off your coat and get a cup of tea, it's time to go again.
That's right.
And for lots of people, any more than 4 hours, it becomes a chore.
Yeah.
Whereas a couple hours, you get to come along, you have a bit of crack, and we have a lot of people that would leave West Donegal once a week to go to Letterkenny. They would go out to do their shopping, they would go out for an appointment, they might have something regular, and you know what, the buses that we have going by, all of the doors, like here you would have Fides going out, you'd have John McGinley leaving from Crawley, Mannion's buses, all of the various ones.
Brilliant services.
Oh, it's fantastic. But we would have people maybe coming out, and they're going to go to Letterkenny for the day anyway. And it's a very boring place, and all you have to do is walk around carrying your shop.
That's right.
So we would try and get them a couple of hours volunteering maybe in a charity shop. So they come out, let's say they're out in Letterkenny for 10 o'clock, they go and get a cup of tea, in normal times anyway, they go and get a cup of tea, they do a bit of browsing around the shops, maybe at 12 o'clock they would go in, they would do 2 hours volunteering, They would finish then at 2 o'clock, they would go and get a bite of lunch, go and do their shopping, jump on the bus at 4 o'clock, and their day's put in, but their day has structure as well, and the community is benefiting. And the thing we always say to all the volunteers, you know, you'll never have a day where you'll come home and you won't have some kind of story at lunch, over dinner.
Yeah.
You know, you'll sit and you'll look to your other half or your kids or to the dog, whoever it is, and you'll say, you wouldn't believe what such and such a person did today, or what news or information you got. And you know, it's about being part of your community and just being part of I suppose, Donegal society. And you know, we see it with the new communities coming in. They don't have those connections maybe, so they try to establish them. And it's just wonderful, and it's great for us to have the opportunity to do that. And I always say to everybody except my boss that I have a fantastic job. I don't tell him I have a fantastic job because he'd be looking for me to do it for less. Like, I get to meet really positive people every day. I get to meet people that want to do something good. You know, the people that are sitting at home going, sure, you know, he's not doing that for the good of his health, or, you know, he's obviously doing something, or, you know, those negative people that maybe
he's
aren't.
making money out of
That's sure. I'm sure you know the story yourself, Eugene. Those people don't come and talk to me. It's only the ones that want to do something that turn up at my door. And it's very inspiring when you hear their stories and you hear just the amount of work that people are willing to put in for free to benefit others.
Especially if they're getting personal satisfaction.
And that's what it's all about. You know, like, there's an awful lot more to life than money. Obviously, it's important. But, you know, it's about those connections and that social interaction and feeling good, and sometimes feeling tired when you come home. Like, we have a young guy in Letterkenny, as well, I'm going to call him young guy, he's about my own age, and he is a really mild intellectual disability, and he's done every course you can think of, and he's doing everything he can. But what he mostly wants is to be tired at night. So we have him out volunteering with the community gardens, and he's like a horse like a horse with a plough. He'll go in and he'll dig all day, and he loves it purely because he goes home and he's tired. He hasn't just walked around or gone to courses or gone to meetings for the day. And there's opportunities for everybody to participate. And you know, we're always delighted to have more people coming and joining us and coming with ideas. You know, to say to us, we'd like you to explore me volunteering at something we haven't heard of. Well, we have, I suppose, the structure and the setup to go and find the place that you do that volunteering, be it online or be it remotely or be it physically in a group.
That's very good. Unfortunately, John, time has caught up with us, but we're very grateful to you for coming in and sharing all that with us, and hopefully that the people that are listening to this, that they'll get benefit from it and they'll get back to you.
No, that's fantastic, Eugene, and thank you very much. I'm just going to confirm phone numbers. I might have given 3 different phone numbers. So the phone number for our office in Letterkenny, which my colleague, there's only 2 of us working there, is a fine Ross's man, Eamon Boner from Burton Port. So the phone number to get us is 07491 26740, and our Google is, and you'll find us there. And it's a fantastic opportunity for people to come in and participate in community activities like Culturland O'Donnell as it's now known. Alright,
John, go to meet him over the stocking. Agus, put him in Jeddah,
sorry, Eugene.